Joining the debate tonight on the president's tone and messaging today is Democratic strategist Robin Biro and Teisha Powell, conservative political commentator. We thank you both so much for being here. Teisha, let's start with you.
Sure.
So very quickly, do you feel as though the president struck the right tone today in this trip?
Absolutely. President Trump did the right thing. President Trump is human. These people are human. President Trump has compassion. So this is not a political circus. We need to understand that people are hurting in this country. And for the president to go there just to give his, love, why can't we receive love? This is what this is really about. People do not want to go ahead and show that President Trump is compassionate. That is what that's really about. That's what the Democrats are afraid of. They're afraid that Trump is getting closer to the voters are falling in love with Trump, and they're going to re-elect Trump. This is what it's all about.
Robin, is that what you're afraid of?
No, not at all. And look, other presidents have done exactly as President Trump did today and gone and talked just directly with the victims themselves and not the press. So I'm not going to criticize him for that. I will criticize him for not allowing the press corps to be with him because he only took his own people, which to me reeks of propaganda because they're controlling the message. That's the very definition of propaganda.
Let me finish.
I didn't interrupt you.
Let's go back.
I didn't interrupt
people are in the hospital here.
I didn't interrupt you. Let me finish.
So sorry.
Go ahead, Robin.
Thank you, Eric. But look, your other guest is exactly right that the president did need to go and meet with these people to comfort them. It's what any president does. And the problem here, I'm a veteran. I'm a Spec Ops veteran. Terrorists radicalize by looking to a leader. This leader needed to do what he did the other night and give a speech condemning white supremacy so that we don't have any more radicalized people.
You and I both know that President Trump is not a racist. We already know that.
I have issues with that.
We need to have people know the facts. People do not live in Manhattan.
I would say he's a racist,
You cannot be a racist and live in Manhattan. So we need to get this correct. We really do. We need to stop. We need to stop. We need to stop.
I'm tired of racism being weaponized.
We need to stop sending false news. Half the media is in New York. It's all liberal. Most people have never been to Manhattan. President Trump cannot be a racist and live in Manhattan.
Now, there are many people, just to point out something that Robin said, is that there are many people who will say that Democrats are weaponizing the term racism as well.
And I'm tired of it.
But let's not talk about that right now because we've got more pressing things at the very moment. And that's not to minimize it at all because it's certainly a very worthy topic of conversation.
Yes.
However, let's talk about before leaving Dayton today, or for Dayton, the president was defending his rhetoric. And he says that it brings people together. He was asked whether or not it is fueling what we're seeing right now. He says it brings people together. Robin, do you believe?
Do I believe that hateful messages are bringing people together? Yes, but to the wrong people. These people, like I said, the people on the extreme look to a leader, and that's the problem. So I'm glad that he's walking it back now, but there are 22 dead bodies in El Paso right now.
But then that's something that we need to ask Sanders and Biden and Warren. They have been in D.C. all their lives.
They're not engaging in hateful rhetoric.
They have been there all their lives. They haven't done anything. Now let's go back to President Trump. Let's give him his 4 years, and let's see if there is gun violence and addiction to games. That is what the real truth is.
There are games all across the world.
Addiction to video games. That's what it is. President Trump is right. He is right. He is right.
There are video games all across the world.
I was a parent. I am a parent with people.
We're the only nation with this problem. What are you talking about, lady?
Because we are feeding our kids addiction. I have been a teacher at Baldwin Oral School for autistic kids. There is a difference with addiction. Do you know anything about addiction?
Yes.
No, President Trump is right. Look at the correlation. There is a big difference with the gun violence. It's from the addiction of video games.
Tell that to the people in Canada who don't have this problem, who have video games.
Between reality. That's the problem. Keep rolling your eyes.
Both of you, I want to talk once again about some of the things that the president did and said today. That's quite all right. Some of the things that the president did and said today when he was going to Dayton and to El Paso. Because while he did meet victims and families and try and promote healing, there are those who had said that while he was doing that on one hand, that he was sowing division on the other. So, for instance, the president tweeted about Beto O'Rourke. So let's put up this tweet here, and he was referring to Beto's phony name to indicate Hispanic heritage. Beto snapped back, and he tweeted, 22 people in my hometown are dead after an act of terror inspired by your racism. El Paso will not be quiet, and neither will I. So let me get back to you very quickly here. I mean, do you think that when the president says one thing or does one thing, and then he tweets something else that's contrary to what he's trying to accomplish, is he zeroing out? Is it a zero sum?
No, but let's just put it back to normalcy. First of all, President Trump isn't God. God selected President Trump. He is human. He's never going to do everything perfect. So we're going to always pick up on something that's not perfect because he is human. He is a leader of our country, and we have to respect that. We do have to respect that. He's probably doing a lot of stuff just like everybody. News is probably changing all the time. So he's probably tweeting something here, then the news changed and he tweets something there. We all do that. I'm sure that you have text people and then you have a miscommunication. So why is it that we are so it doesn't make sense to me.
Robin, quick response and then we have to go to break.
It doesn't make sense to me. How many times
Robert Francis O'Rourke has been called Beto since he was 3 years old. There are pictures of him on the internet with it on his shirt. So it's not something that he decided at 3 to pander to Hispanic voters. So it's just Trump being Trump and lying for political gain.
No. It's the Democrats that are losing and they have to lie because President Trump is going to get another 4 years. That's the problem. You guys are afraid of another 4 years because you want African-American people to go back. You don't want them to go forward.
Is perhaps the type of disagreement that we're having tonight here,
yes,
the reason that we're not seeing any action on gun control? All right, we have to leave it there. Robin Byro, Teisha Powell, we thank you both so much for being here on the show. Appreciate your time, as always. All right, coming up here on